I'll still be wacky though.
Wacky, wave the arc inflating inflatable tube, or however the hell it goes.
Yeah.
Stream to
My Steam overlay isn't working, and it's pissing me off.
Pissing you off.
I'll wait for George here before I cast this.
Cast it. Just kidding.
No.
It's like Christy not liking cereal, Wolf.
There's an ocean.
Okay.
Fish.
Okay.
That's so funny. All right, I have full long
cereal
rest for
is a
everyone.
soup?
So
Yes.
yes,
Yeah, come. Okay, good. I was waiting for you.
yeah, I'm right here.
Oh, I got AIDS.
I'm joining.
Everyone has AIDS.
Wolf isn't accepting my stream together invite. That's crazy.
Yo, Gab Wolf, is there anyone innocent here that I can kill before we go to Moonrise? Or am I kind of fucked till Act 3?
Can you kill Arabella or whatever the hell her name was?
I thought we let her die.
Oh,
Yeah,
she already did?
No, she was
my fault.
bugged.
Oh, that's right.
Oh
she's
yeah, I
like-
pushed her.
Wait,
Wait, where is she?
Where's she
I
at?
want to kill her. I want to kill her.
She's by Moonrise.
Wait, let me get her spell and then you can kill her.
No, baby, it's glitched. We can't get
It
the
might,
spell. I
sti-
just
it
want-
might still be
It might have
glitched.
reset. Yeah,
Okay,
but we'll
let's go
see.
check. I'm gonna go
Let
check.
me
Where's she at?
change my
I'm
thing.
looking
She's kind of
for
by
her.
Moonrise. I think she's.
She's in by like the
North?
front of a cemetery or something.
Yeah, if you go to
Yeah, I
Moonrise and go
teleported to
north,
Moonrise.
you'll see her.
Okay, we're all coming. I promise I
heading
won't
north.
fuck her this time.
What?
What? Hey, yo.
Or fuck with her, I'm sorry.
Diddy?
I promise
Kill
I'm
her?
not.
Is that you, Diddy?
Oh, God.
Diddy-rella.
Nobody heard my joke.
Ugh.
Oh, there
Yeah,
she
look,
is.
she's there. Yeah,
Oh,
I pushed her.
Fixed. Hold on.
I pushed her so she would run away.
Nope, it's still broken.
Oh,
Wait,
is it?
yeah, it's still broken.
Well, let's
poor
solve
kid.
this problem.
Oh!
Hey!
You fucking
Wild.
shithead.
She has
She has zero
health.
health
Oh
and
my
she's running.
god.
She's gone, dude.
Yeah, we
God damn
I'm sorry. I thought it would fix her if she ran away like that, because that's what
Okay.
happened when I pushed her.
I have a question.
Nah, you're good.
Okay, there's nothing.
I have an answer.
We have 2 hours approximately,
Mhm.
correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think we can get to Boulder's Gate in 2 hours?
Oh, wait.
No.
She's right here. Oh, she's still
She
bugged.
respond?
Yeah, she responded.
Let me kill her again. You fucking
What if
whore.
what if I try to kidnap her? Oh. I could try to kidnap her into our camp.
Oh, wait. She ran over here. Oh, wait. She's
Okay.
running. She's running around?
Ah!
Oh, she's
Running-
like
Yeah.
running so fast.
Back.
Yeah, dude.
Do you run a Shia track song?
She's like a vampire.
I mean, she's
And like
like,
Twilight. You know how like they run really fast?
Really goofy
oh
looking.
my
Say it,
god.
Bella. I know what you are.
This is an ass of a killer.
You're not a vampire. You're a fairy.
Are we doing this?
Vampire? Hold on. I'm trying to hold on. There's something I want to
Okay.
I'm going back to
here.
I don't even
Moonrise.
know where the fuck she
See if
went.
this triggers anything.
I mean, yeah, we didn't save Samuel, if that's what you're wondering.
Oh yeah, we
No,
didn't
we
do.
didn't.
Well,
That's
I think
what-
we have to
that's
do
what
that
that is.
if Gab wants to get that bear dog.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I was just, shoot my shot.
It's cool.
And my fucking paladin ass couldn't fucking. Might kill this kid.
You're gonna kill a
Daniel?
kid.
He's like
Oliver.
half of him.
Oh, Chihir's over here.
Yeah, don't talk to her yet,
Waiting on George.
Fuck it.
because we're about to
I'm not doing this
be
shit.
doing a battle.
Waiting
fuck that
on a
kid.
woman. Whoa.
Okay, we can't be saying that we're fucking kids, okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Who are
Sorry,
we,
sorry, no-
Chinchilla?
My fault. My.
Holy.
I was gonna say otter, but that's even funnier.
That's wild.
Ooh, a key.
And a rotten lemon.
Nice. Oh, I can kill Jahira. Can I kill her?
Nothing about me is rotten.
Just tell her to stay out here. Ow, what the hell? What the fuck?
What just happened? Why did you just take damage?
Oh, the holy fire right fucking here. It touched my toe, literally. My pinky toe.
Your pinky toe.
Whatever.
Is my
two-
friend George done streaming? He doesn't stream this game anymore because he's a loser.
Yes, I'm done streaming.
Believe me.
Yeah, he's
I'm
retired.
aching to have my revenge.
He's going full-time doctor now.
My
I thought you said
hoppers are
retarded, and I
gone.
was like, yeah, that's pretty close.
Oh, same thing.
Shadows. Lost in the shadow theater of my mind.
What's up, news reporter?
alone.
Can I
I'm the
kill
last one
Jahira?
standing.
Last time I wanted to do that, you said you were gonna
Yeah,
do things
but-
to
But I
me.
wouldn't be if it
I
but
wasn't.
love
wanna
how
break
she's
my
talking to
paladin.
us like this, but we were the reason why all her
So,
harpers are
what do
gone.
you say?
Yeah.
Shall we take the
Technically,
final
it was
steps
fucking Christy,
together?
and everyone else
one.
got blamed.
Yeah, especially me.
You're going full-time bullshitter. What do you mean? I've been full-time bullshitter.
Walk alone so I can kill her.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
You really-
do whatever you want to do.
I think we could use her in the fight.
Yeah, just say this, I guess.
So be it.
Yeah.
It's already
Hopefully
Our
she
fault that
dies.
your people died, but let fight
The
with us.
time has come. Gedrick will taste of death at last. Let's get this
Can we
over
stop
with.
talking?
Hello. Yeah, he's not streaming right now.
Shadow to shadow. Soon. The final reckoning.
You guys got anything? Ooh, a key.
Oh, Dr. Molella. Another key. Oh, sausage.
Butter
Butter bun. Be that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go talk to Disciples Rel. Like, hey, Brody, what's good, gang?
Oh, Christy, you need
As
a
soon as
mind
we
flare
walk in,
parasite?
I think it's a. Oh no, I think she does try to talk.
On the top right of your map, you should be able
Yeah.
just to eat one.
Ooh, which one do I want to do?
Ew.
Wait, what is she doing?
She has to eat a
Parasite.
mind flare parasite to fix her, to cure the stupidity.
Yeah.
Oh, I just picked up a parasite, so you can eat mine.
to fix my stupid. I forgot. There was a good one for my build, but I forgot which one it is. Let me look it up real quick.
I think the one that cold a week or cold something is a really good one.
Which one?
The one that
I
gives
see.
you critical, probably first hit too. What is that called?
Cold a week. There's cold a week when you bring a creature down to fewer hit points than your number of evolved to lifted powers, it dies, and all nearby enemies take 1 to 4 psychic damage.
I don't see that. I have.
Brody just said
It's
shit.
on
I don't know what
the.
he's talking
It's
about.
on the. It's on like the very bottom, one of the very bottom ones. So you have to get 4 things to get it.
Yeah,
Oh.
right now I have transfuse health.
Fuck you guys. I'm gonna go over here.
Psionic overload. Favorable beginnings. Force tunnel. And concentrated blast.
Yeah, the first attack roll or ability check you make against any target gains a bonus equal to your proficiency. Favorable beginnings might be good. 'Cause you might be able to take out, an enemy first hit, just because it gives you, a
Oh, okay.
bonus.
Okay.
Cursed.
Did I do it?
There's still 2 tadpoles left. You have to I think you have to click it, and then you have to
Oh,
drag a
and-
tadpole
and
over
then
to
click
it.
it again.
Yeah.
If I kill a cat, will I break my paladin oath?
Wow, I just got an achievement
No.
for that. I've never done the tadpoles before in any of my runs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You gonna eat that other one? Because if not, I'm consuming all of them.
Go for it.
Yes.
Wait, let me check it. Did it actually increase my or fix my intelligence? Let me see. Oh yeah, it did. Bet. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, it
Yeah,
that's
she's a
right,
little
yeah.
less stupid.
I'm a little
just
less
ca-
stupid.
I just killed a cat, boys. My oath
Where
didn't
are you?
break.
Where the hell did you go?
I'm
Are
behind
you
the
guys
tower.
in battle already? In combat?
No,
No.
we're not
No.
good. Go that
I'm-
way.
I
You
snuck
see me over
around.
here?
I went to the left side of the kitchen. I'm sneaking around.
Are you outside?
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
outside.
yeah, yeah. Is there a ladder somewhere? I can't remember how to get. Oh yeah, there's roots.
Yeah, I'm trying
Ow.
to get to it, but I'm. Oh, I think I've seen it.
Oh,
There it is.
how did they? Oh, wait, how did
Oh,
you get
that
over
was a big
there?
jump. The roots are right
Go
here.
to the left of the. Yeah, go to the left of the building.
Left
No
of the
one's in here.
building.
Like left of
Nice.
left
Oh,
of
like
the
out,
gate.
like outside.
Outside. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, take a left before you go to the stairs.
Left.
Yeah, they're right here. Yeah, we don't even have to talk to her if you don't want. We could just try to kill her.
Oh, I didn't know you can get up there. That's pretty cool. There's really nothing up here. Cracked wall.
No, we're sneaking in through Balthazar's fucking room that you opened
nice.
for us.
Okay, and
There's a platform. I can't really ping, but there's a platform kind of behind you down. Yeah, right there.
Wait.
And there's another one just under me that you can jump to, and then take the ladder.
Go deep and move.
No.
too far.
I had to do it. You have to. If I did it, dude, you could do it. You got to do it at a certain angle.
Oh, it's just it's too far. Why?
You have glorious vaulting.
Hello?
Hello?
Can we hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah,
I
I
can hear
hear
you.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you have to do a certain angle is what Gab was saying. You got to jump at a
Can you hear
certain
me?
angle.
Oh, I just
Good.
saw. Oh my god. It,
Yeah,
like-
you see what I'm saying?
yeah.
you
It
have
like
to.
just popped up for like a second.
Yep.
There we go.
Yup. Big brain, dude. Big brain. Look at you.
Hi, baby. I think. Oh, never mind. Good.
Breathe deep and move.
Sneaky, sneaky.
I think everyone's
Sneaky,
downstairs anyway.
Isn't there a way that you can get up on the rafters too? You just have to
I think
teleport. up there?
so.
Of course, I
we
remember
could go in
teleporting up
this
there and then getting
room right
blasted
here.
off. There's
We
a
can try
thing
going
out
in
there.
there. Indeed, there is. There's necromites out here.
My
Oh, you
God,
can't say that.
parasites.
An absolute outfit.
They're guarding this place as if they know. It's not like a door leads anywhere. We could probably kill these guys though, you know, and then just
Yeah.
skip right downstairs. But I
Oh,
kinda
wait,
wanna
there's
skip
more
right
of 'em.
downstairs.
We could kill that Rhodesia bitch. I don't think if we trigger this fight, I don't think we trigger downstairs.
Think so?
Yeah. Encrusted
Oh.
with frost. Only 2 turns.
What the fuck? How was I seen? What the shit?
Uh-oh.
I wasn't in the thing.
That's okay. Just stay there. George is coming too. Look at him. I just seen him
Yeah.
jump.
Wait.
We're gonna fuck these
Sorry.
dudes up. Go ahead. Just don't
I'd have
end
to
your
get that
turn.
close. I have to get kind of close for this, but that's how I.
What we
suppose.
could
y'all-
do.
Oh, where'd y'all go?
Went through Balthazar's room.
Oh, okay.
Are you all the way up here?
No, I'm still at the front of the tower because I went. Oh, I see it. I see it. I
Go
see it, I
up
see
the
it.
roots. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. I see the roots now.
Then you just jump on the platforms up the ladder and into Balthazar's nasty room.
Target too far.
Wait. Wait.
Damn, I can't hit all of them. That's annoying. Oh, that's okay. I'll just do this then.
Path is interrupted.
I am here.
Damn it.
I can hit.
Someone spotted. Interesting.
I'm about to cast Fireball on them too.
You're about to cast
which-
fireball.
Which one are
Yeah.
you hitting?
I'm gonna
All
hit
of
the 2
them.
in the back. If you can hit all of them, awesome. But I'm gonna hit the 2 in the back.
Okay, I'm hitting all of
Yeah.
them.
Going through Balthazar's room. Damn. Diddy. I'm gonna touch
That was incredible.
diddy.
Yeah, dude. She's like, what the fuck?
Party view.
Just wait for George.
Liar's
He could
bar.
probably fucking run in here somehow and kill her.
Wait,
Or
actually,
at
Only
least
one person
maybe
left.
you might throw something at her. Oh shit! American Sniper.
Oh shit!
Oh
your shit.
shit!
Oh shit.
Is it a
Everybody
rune
get
counter bomb?
down!
Hoi, hoi, hoi. Can I please move or no? Okay.
Someone in the way.
No. Watch the shit. Hoi, hoi, hoi.
Oh, that was
Oh.
sick.
What the fuck?
Nice, dude.
All right, let me just see how am I gonna do
And then
this?
push
Oh,
her
wow.
into the electrified water.
Okay.
Electronic water.
Electronic water.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just
That
gonna,
was so unlucky. There you go.
There you go.
Get fucked, bitch. Ah!
You're gonna freeze as well, bitch. You stupid.
Oh, let's hope she falls.
Yeah.
I'm gonna slip. I'm gonna slip. Oh, Markless Scourge. Give me that. Necromite.
All right. Are we just
I don't
gonna?
That wasn't me.
I feel like we should kill them on downstairs to get the XP.
Yeah, I kind of want to kill them downstairs and get the XP. I've also never done it without, and I also have like this probably irrational fear that at the fight upstairs, if we don't kill them, they'll come running upstairs.
They gotta fight Jahira, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Who took my foot?
Yeah,
If we
they're
can
gonna-
go this way,
away.
and then we can jump on the rafters. I'm pretty sure.
Jahira has plot armor. She's not gonna lose.
She's gonna
Come
die.
back. She's
dude.
dead.
I'm gonna make sure
Oh.
she dies.
Guess that plot armor is nothing anymore. That's wild. That's a wild thing to say.
Jump. Can we jump there?
Unlocked. Moonrise. God's key. Some good shit in here, actually.
Why is that gonna damage?
Yeah, it said 2 before, but then holy shit, Christy!
I was about to say, dude, Christy picked the most precarious place to jump ever.
That was pretty good, dude. Holy shit!
I have to do kind of the same. I'm gonna do kind of the same.
Oh, that's interesting. Good choice, babe. Open up.
I was just doing where I could see.
Okay,
Wait, who
let's see.
sees us? Who's
I
down here?
can-
Oh, okay.
I can get that guy.
It's not
down
even
there.
Zarel. Oh no, it's the warden. Okay.
Oh wait, I can get this person too.
I could
From where
try
I'm
and
at.
hold. I can try and hold person. All
Should we
3 of
do-
them. I could try to all. I can hold all 3 of them probably.
Like a fireball.
You want me to try and do it?
Damn it.
Go for it.
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna try and hold all 3 of them.
George is
There's-
not in the fight.
Maybe.
Okay, I'll wait.
Maybe this
George just
person
doesn't pay
especially.
attention.
This is what
Yeah,
I
I
wanted.
can do all 3 of them.
Okay.
No, we missed this cape. It's actually really good.
What'd you
What
get?
is it?
I equipped it. Letter to Kethric. There we go.
I mean, after we kill everybody, we can look around too. Before we go
Ooh.
upstairs.
Yeah. Absorbs elemental damage once per short rest. So kind of wanted that because I'm about to get diddled with spells. Anyway. That's some spicy
Do this.
water.
Spicy.
Some great water. Amen.
Yeah, y'all can start.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'll take a drink.
Well,
Why it surprised him.
Oh, only 2 of them. Okay, so I'm gonna focus the 2 of them then. What the shit was that?
I got 2 out of 3.
all right.
I can get this one.
Okay.
Try and kill whoever. Whoever can be killed.
We'll probably
is
focus
gay.
that one because I don't know if we can. I don't know if one of us can kill him.
This. Fuck.
How big is Fireball? Fireball is
Very
not big
nice.
enough to hit both of them. Of course, it's not. Well, then
Okay.
F you.
I'm debating on if I should Misty step down there. Maybe not.
They
'cause-
might come to us, to be honest, and we kind of have the high ground here.
Yeah, maybe I should just
That's how
stay
it
here
makes
for
sense.
now.
I have the high ground.
Where's George?
Fighting the mimic.
Fuck if I know. Already found a mimic.
Oh my god.
I will end this fucking monstrosity.
All right, well, I'm gonna end my turn. Is that okay?
Yeah, I ended
Oh
my turn.
yeah. I'm ending my turn as well.
Okay. Look at them all. They're all gonna be like, "What the fuck?
Okay, this fucking cunt.
Okay.
How do we get up there?"
If we have to, I go down there and use my new
Jahira!
new ability and just go crazy.
We're just all the fucking way over.
Yeah, he's fighting a mimic, I think, right? That's what you said?
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, shit.
Hmm.
Jahira's gonna get
Jahira
got.
just taking... She's taking on everybody in that room.
Yeah, she is.
She'll be aight.
Alright, this is how she dies. No,
Ah, she going cougar on him. It's over.
it's not.
Stupid fucking thing.
She just
None
didn't
of
do
these-
anything.
You
I
wanna
guess.
come lay with me? Come here.
None of these people have legendaries, do they? No, this isn't a boss fight.
Nah, yeah, it's just a battle.
Zarel- No, Zarel doesn't. Okay. I didn't know if Zarel
That's why I
counted
was
as a
checking.
boss
She
or
just
not.
has...
No. Oh,
Oh, you both did it.
nice. Beautiful.
Hey, knock it off!
You're coming with me.
The dude's still surprised.
This reminds me of a song.
I'll strip your bones
This reminds me
clean.
of a song.
Shut up, Zarel.
Nice.
Black
No.
hole. Oh god.
Somebody fall? Oh, you did.
Yes.
That didn't even hurt you, though.
I got saved.
It gave me a little bit of damage, but I just have so much health.
Yeah,
you
she
know?
cast it on me, but Wolf got caught.
What
You
the?
freaking idiot, dude.
What was that?
He was like, I'm
Who
coming.
just-
That's wild.
Dude, he really just splattered on the ground, bro.
I don't have
Wait,
my-
what the hell?
I don't have
Oh,
my
that's
level
George winning.
4 Warlock spell. Slot
That's
unlocked.
me
Damn
winning.
it. I was gonna cast Hunger of
Here.
Hadar down there, but I don't have
I'm
it.
slowed, apparently.
Um,
I'm gonna
Hey,
lightning bolt these bitches.
Hey, Wolf, check out the
I
necklace I
can't
just sent you.
hit that one. Oh, that's annoying.
oh, that
Wolf,
one's
check the necklace I just
half
sent you.
interrupted.
Okay, I will. Give me 1 second.
Okay, I'm gonna come down there and help you.
Where's that?
Oh,
Should
nice.
be at the bottom of your inventory, whatever the heck it is.
Oh, ow.
So every time you cast a spell, you get reverberation. A ranged spell attack, something like that. You're welcome.
Ooh.
All right.
Hold on, I'm trying to think here. Should I come down there and help you?
I'm trying to think of what
Or
how I want to go about
do-
doing
I
this.
I can actually hit 2 of them. Yeah, I'm gonna try and do it. My last
You know what?
3 will be for Spirit Guardians.
Beautiful. This bitch.
Equip my weapon.
Yeah,
If
get
they
fucked.
have that. Break concentration, witch bolt.
Where George? Where'd you go?
I'm coming.
You know what I'm gonna do? Oh, that will break my
Huh.
concentration too.
Oh, this is the door. Okay, I'm coming to y'all. Don't mind me.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and
End my turn.
I'm just gonna do this.
Coming back.
Yeah, dude,
down from
that's
the-
safe, dude. Very safe.
We'll just do that. We'll just play it safe. Play it safe.
Yeah, good. Oh, you failed a saving throw against Zarel and lost concentration.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I should go down that way you guys went because if I
Yeah.
do, I'm gonna come to the main entrance.
And,
Where,
where'd you hear
Jahira's
it?
at.
He's wow. He wants to kill Jahira.
Yeah, I'm going to the main entrance where Jahir is at. There's no benefit of me being in the rafters with the fuck.
Are you
fucking twisted.
serious?
Oh my god.
With a fucking disadvantage down
That's
below?
insane.
That's actually insane.
That's just Baldur's Gate.
Wow, dude. I'm so annoyed right now. That was so unlucky.
Wowzers.
Fucking whore.
Hey, I made it.
She has like 1 health left.
Well, when they die, they are revived with 1 because I'm pretty sure Zarel or
From the
something.
Guardian?
Oh, so we had to kill Zarel then,
I'm a coming.
right? Or
Yeah, she's in the other room. I think that's what's happening. Or it could be just. Let me read.
It might just
Let
be
me
an ability
examine
they
this.
Does Zarel have a
They
legendary
have a
action?
death ward on. They have death ward. That's what that
Death
is.
ward.
So
You're
everybody who
right.
has death
so-
ward on,
Oh.
they don't die. They are revived with 1.
Okay.
Like
What is
Jahira's
that?
gonna die.
Kill to.
This roll Q is
That's
wild.
just their ability.
Okay. Is that
Damn.
Oh, Jahira. Damn.
That spell is really fucking strong, dude.
I need to help Jahira out. My girl.
Oh, no. You're such a
Uh-oh.
flip flopper,
she
babe.
did.
Uh oh. Uh
It's
oh.
over.
Dude,
Oh,
she's
if-
about to
if
get
I can't kill her-
smashed, bro.
Oh, I don't think she is.
What?
I think she's going for y'all.
What? Oh.
What?
Dude, she kicked the dude that fell from the rafters.
She's like, you're
Yeah.
in my
Okay.
way.
I can't believe that.
Hey, this is fucking rude.
Holy shit, dude. It's like 2 boobies.
I just want to point out, this is rude, dude. They got me in the Venn diagram here.
Yeah. Come on, you're knocking stuff over on my
frightened.
desk.
I'm surprised they haven't knocked
Crazy
y'all
cat.
down
For
yet.
3 turns.
They knocked me down.
Well, I mean, that's expected.
This dummy, because Zarel cast it on Christy.
Oh, I got you,
I
dude.
got
Oh!
Zarel's dumbass.
Yes, that was pretty good.
Jahira. Don't die,
It's
Jahira.
over.
Fuck.
Over Jahira.
I'm bleeding out.
Go see the rest. Your Harpers.
That's crazy.
Christy just dodging.
Hmm.
I got you though.
Uh,
Oh, you're not cursed. My bad. I don't
what
got
here?
you.
I can do this.
What can I do here?
I'm gonna do a little bit of a. Oh, actually, I need to. Ooh. If I kill them, will the Guardian die, or is the Guardian just a permanent thing?
I don't know.
Get back out there.
Jahira. Not enough movement?
When an entity enters
I
your
got
attack.
you.
Oh, okay, but it did stop it. Okay, sweet. Now if I move though, will it?
Got you,
Here's
Jahira.
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this.
Disadvantage these guys. Let's go. It heals?
Oh, I do have my bell if we absolutely need it.
I'm gonna do one of these.
Well, I don't think that's gonna work anymore.
because
Hultasar's dead, babe.
Hits.
I don't think he's gonna come up above ground. I don't know though.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
never
could-
Try
used
it
him.
though.
I could. Well, I could
Fuck
misty
it.
step down there if we need to.
Try it.
Yeah, fuck it. See what happens.
Back in the
What if he
fucking
comes?
bucket.
She just calls
Wait.
in more enemies.
I wish I wasn't ensnared.
Well, we should save it for the Cut
the
the
shit
Thorn fight
just
if
happened?
we can, right?
Oh, never mind. I know what happened. I hate that. That makes
Oh
me
my
so
God.
mad.
Damn, headshot.
Listen, Jahira. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna keep healing you, girl. Carry your weight.
Oh God.
She
please.
needs to fucking heal herself. Don't you
bro.
do it.
That's fucking rude.
Nice. 1. You smacked her. No, you just spit on her. Oh!
That's fucking rude.
I'm telling you what, they should not be able to be hitting like that from down there.
How did my spell not go? I just realized my spell didn't go off. Was that counter spell?
Oh, Jahira.
I think so. I think it
Jahira's
was.
dead.
Oh no.
Good.
Well,
Forced
Oh, well,
retirement.
you're inspired.
I was inspired. That's funny.
yeah, it's normal for a dirge.
Did she just like vanish?
Oh, she's right here.
I
Now
know,
I'm
I'm
gonna get
looking.
diddled.
I'm looking and I can't see
It's
her
probably
body.
Just, it's probably just not in your thing. I'm gonna die.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude.
This is bad. I'm gonna be real. It's looking kind of bleak here.
Nah, we're good. What do you mean?
No,
Just
we're
lost
good.
Jahira. Didn't need her anyway. She was a dead weight. Oh well, now I mean, I guess that's true. You did decide to go on the opposite side
Uh-huh.
where none of us were. So it might be kind of bleak for you.
Was really nothing I could have done on your guys' end. A melee character.
You could just throw shit
I
down
could
at
have
him.
healed you though. You could have came
Yeah, that's
down.
true.
We could
That's
throw.
true.
I got 6 smoke powder bombs too.
Oh,
Does anyone have a
I got
gunpowder
some
barrel?
too. No, please, no. Oh God.
I got one. I got one.
No.
wait.
No, 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 no.
If I'm like the
Well, you
last
stop-
alive with one health,
Oh, no gap.
Not pinky toe.
What the fuck
What
just
happened to
happened to me?
You got
Cast
pinky
black
sucked
hole on
up.
me. Yeah, black hole sucks you.
Yeah, it
Why you gotta
sucks.
suck me, man? And I'm slow. God damn it! I knew this day would come.
Oh
And I'm-
no.
well, this is bad.
They keep missing me.
We gotta run, bro.
It sucks because I don't have
Crippler has been crippled.
I don't have my level 4 spell
My
slot.
crippling days are over.
What can I do here? I'm gonna look at my scrolls real quick.
Well, if I guess you could say the crippler got crippled.
Haha!
Stupid.
Love it. Shit,
Nice.
it's level 4.
Nice.
What would be better to do?
Fireball.
Good fireball. Fireball. Yeah, I mean, I might.
Man, the
fireball.
evil
I'm gonna
playthrough
fireball.
fucking sucks.
I can't do
Really?
anything else.
I really have no allies.
Hopefully,
just
I
realized.
survive whatever happens to me next.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah. 14
fine.
character actions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Someone go invisible and run away.
Slowed. Hold on.
We
Just a
always
second.
have that option to do that. I have 2 on me as well.
Yeah.
God, do I want to waste that though and do the?
Yeet.
Oh, thank you! Wow, from downtown.
Yep.
Is this good? Is okay. Noise resistance says this does.
I was worried I was gonna like hurt
Think
you
we're
in
gonna
the
do this.
process.
No, you're good. As long as like it doesn't have like the percentage and it's at my feet. You should see the little ring with triangles pop up.
I think I'm just gonna hit.
I'm just
This
coming
bitch.
round.
Yep, it's Zarel counterspelling it did.
Oh, you're pissing me off. Cool. I'm out of level 4 spell slots now.
You're pissing me off.
Yeah, let me examine her.
I don't know. Wolf saying that makes me laugh all the time. It's fucking funny.
And nothing I can do.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Good luck, everybody else.
Okay.
I'm scared.
Fucking Lincella. How did that midget have the wherewithal to aim that fucking high?
You fucking whore!
It stole our idea.
Oh yeah. NPCs are smarter now in this fucking act.
Well, she stepped out of my spirit guardians. I think she ran up the steps.
Hey, George, how
I
you
think
doing over
she
here,
did.
buddy?
You know.
Oh God.
Oh.
They literally stuck all their weapons up my ass and like fucking said, "Happy birthday."
Fucking George sleeping on the job.
They're like, wanna cripple. Hey, come kiss me on that hot mouth. I'm feeling romantic.
I can see if I can go like invisible and then Misty step down there to revive you.
Don't revive me. Just go invisible and run away.
Well, if everyone
even
runs
try.
towards us and gets in here, she might actually be able to revive you out of like combat.
No, what I mean is that just
Yeah, just leave.
yeah,
go to
just
camp.
leave because I don't. You don't want to risk it. Like if she revives me, right, and then you have to wait another whole ass 14 turn order.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to risk that. That's my suggestion, though. Don't have to follow it. It's just my suggestion. Oh, hey, babe, can you Misty step to the top of the next story of the tower and then go out around the back?
I wish you could fucking toggle like confused because I wish you could see the floor above you.
Yes.
Yes.
I
I wish to.
Yeah, I
So nice.
can't
Because
see.
we
if I
jumped
can't-
up
Oh,
up here.
drop my weapon.
Yep.
Weapon you summoned? That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's still in my thing. So I'm like, what did I drop?
You need to like. I wonder if a hex blade and a eldritch knight multi-class would work well.
I've seen
Is it
videos
the-
about an Eldritch Hexblade combo.
Because the eldritch
Apparently it
knight can
works.
bind their weapon or whatever. I thought the hex blade could too. But you can
Yeah, it
bind a
might-
weapon
Yeah, it is bind.
where it can't be dropped.
Oh yeah, see? It went away. Yeah, I still have my weapon on me. So maybe it didn't work.
Oh, I see.
I see.
I am.
Where were you saying to Misty Step?
Never mind. You can't go back up the stairs because this game is dog shit.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if you want to do it the other way, you can actually Misty Step here
Fuck you, bitch.
and then go around the back. There's a door that goes outside.
What now?
Yeah, you could do that. Just kind of go out west.
Oh, wait, I
pathway.
can't do anything. Why can't I do anything? Oh, fearful. Oh, are you serious?
Oh yeah. Yep, someone is next to you that's casting you fear.
Can I move?
You know what? This is poetic. I died next to my girl Jahira. That's okay.
Okay.
Zarel is
literally
the one
can't,
that's
like,
casting
move or
fear.
anything.
Gone. I went up. I'm on the next floor.
Oh shit.
Oh shit!
Go ahead, dude. Go. I'm
Run,
gonna
run.
try and kill the warden.
Just ran the other way.
That's okay.
Right.
Okay, we got to guarantee.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and take out everybody I can before I either perish or flee.
Hey, babe, Seattle scored 2-2.
Yay!
We could probably like start the fight and then funnel them up here. Wow.
You bitch.
You're supposed to hit that.
What a
I hate you so
bitch.
much.
What
I
a
hate you
bitch.
so much.
Oh
I
my
hate you
God.
so much. I hate you.
You every time I talk to George.
You got
I hate you.
bamboozled.
Someone step on the ice.
Sugma perp.
What?
Okay, should I
What?
go invis when I can? Maybe.
You can do whatever you want. Wolf's got a save, so
Yeah, I managed to get up top. So
yeah. Brody broke the game. Nice.
if you can get like the pillars, kind of see.
Oh my god, I'm so scared.
I'm not
Why?
being able to.
They
ping
literally
really
haven't fucking hit you, dude.
I know.
If I could just do
Okay,
this.
what is she scared
Right.
about?
I don't know. I
Here.
feel like she could go down here and fucking single-handedly kill everybody or something. Look at this. Look. They can't hit her.
I'm just too good.
She's busted.
And she wants to run away.
Oh, there comes fucking
coward.
Archer, man.
Ow.
Kirsty's up here casting spells as if she doesn't do the most damage in melee.
I know. There's just so many of them down there, and I don't have Hunger of Hadar.
I don't need it. You got booming blade.
Get fucked, you dumbass
Alrighty.
bitch.
I still
Ash.
can't do anything.
Running, running, and running, running, and running, running.
Fred Burger, Fred
I'm
Burger.
fucking ensnared.
Yeah, I have fearful for one more time.
Oh no, guys, we might have a problem.
Why?
You cannot flee while in this region.
Did I get you? Did I get the root ball?
You have
No,
to
no.
get
You
outside.
have to, yeah, go outside and there's.
I have to
go
go
back to the main
okay.
entrance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no. Oh no. Actually, do I have a...
Hmm.
I don't.
Great shot.
I agree. That was an amazing shot.
Oh,
Kamehameha!
Nice.
Oh, they're
I was
both
wondering
dead.
when you were gonna
Oh, wait,
when you
no,
were gonna do
she's-
that.
her concentration's
Well-
broken.
What was I missing? What did I miss?
I'm trying.
She did the mace's ability. Which, yeah.
Nice.
Be a mail wave.
I can't reach her. Maybe if I'm gonna be ballsy.
Oh, okay.
You're
Oh,
still
Nice.
die, bitch.
Yeah.
Nice.
Run!
Run.
Run away!
Good shit.
Oops.
Oh,
Pushing all the wrong
God.
buttons here.
Oh shit!
Look out from here.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Very good.
He's playing Battlefield.
I love that game.
Yeah, it's fun.
fun.
Oh, wow,
Oof.
wow, 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 wow.
Sound like Luigi for a second. Ow, 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 ow.
Wow, 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 wow.
Now he sounds like Yoshi. Yeah, we should
She's
play Smash
thinking.
Brothers.
Her turn was thinking.
Smash Brothers is a horrible game.
This guy has literally been running back and forth up there every turn.
Get away. Oh my God.
PK Fire.
Give it
PK
away, give
Fire.
it away,
Arrest
give it away
them.
now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
PK Fire.
Alrighty, let me
PK
hit him
Fire.
with another little
PK
dashy
Fire.
dash. Run all the way over here.
Hello?
Oh.
There it is.
I was gonna
Nice.
say, whoa, holy shit, there's just a lot of shit that just happened.
Um,
Damn.
Get fucked, homie.
I'm scared to throw anything down there because I don't want to get like yeeted.
I think you'll be fine. As long as it's not
Dude,
the
just-
rune powder barrel, I think we'll
Yeah,
be
you'll be
alright.
alright, dude. Just throw
Was
shit
it
at
Rune
him.
Powder Barrel?
Throw bombs at him, dude.
What about a
Start
smoke,
lobbing
a
bombs.
smoke powder bomb?
We gotta feed
Yes,
that
throw it at
to
him.
Catherick Thorm.
Try to get all of them in the blast radius. Don't just
Gonna
throw it
shove
at a
the
single person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're gonna shove that Rune Powder bomb down Catherick
There we
Thorn's
go.
throat.
Yes,
Eat
but
it.
second face, Catherick Thorm.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not really giving me a radius. Do I just hit it in between all of them?
You
Like
don't
right
see a what? No, don't really pay attention to that Guardian of Faith. Pay attention to more of the people.
Yeah, the Guardian of Faith will die once the person who cast it died, but I don't remember who it was that
Yeah.
cast it.
Path interrupted. Path interrupted.
Can you move it all?
I would just like maybe try to put it here. I
Where?
think you would get all three if you threw it there. If you can, you might have to throw it at the back of this Bryn's head if the angle is making you do
Hold
that.
on. Okay, I think I'm gonna move first, just in case.
One day, I'll catch a break.
Okay.
Might give you a better angle, to be honest.
Nice.
There we go.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm invised.
good job.
I was
They'll
like,
be running up towards me. They'll be running after me,
I was like, I
and
better
I'm hopefully
move
gonna
back just in
funnel
ca-
them in here.
just in case.
Oh wait, not right there. I'm hopefully gonna funnel them all at the top of the steps. And moonbeam or something.
Yeah, if I had another, I could lightning bolt them if I had another freaking level 3 spell slot. Ugh. Them all in the line and a blast.
Fireball.
Level 11 is gonna be nuts. Get that chain lightning.
Okay, I think on my next turn, if they're still there, I'll throw it like here. Yeah.
Oh no.
What?
Yeah. Didn't think it would get knocked over. Yeah.
Get Rick back.
Hey, babe, Seattle just hit a grand slam.
I think she's
Dang.
stuck. Like, what the fuck is she doing?
Oh.
Oh, there she goes. Holy shit. I saw that ass moving. What the?
Oh, here she comes.
Mhm.
This fucking acolyte dude who fell off the rafters is still alive.
Even after getting kicked.
Okay, actually, I think I'm gonna throw the bob there. Unless, should I get these ones out first? Should I throw it here? At them? Or here? Another bomb.
Where or where?
Should I throw a bomb here? Or here?
Oh my god, stop doing that. Stop moving me. I want to look
By
at Christy.
Zarel or these three?
I would throw it. I really wish it would stop moving my camera. Probably by...
These two are like almost dead. Or like halfway dead.
Probably whichever one will get the most kills, I think.
Okay.
I'm so far away, I can't, like, pan my camera. Every time I pan my camera, it just moves my camera back to me.
Good, baby.
Nice.
Oh, good job, dude. Yo, we're like single-handedly killing these fools, though.
We just have to funnel them.
Funnel you.
I might throw
Whoa,
something
promise?
else. I don't want my... Does my spike growth get blown up if I put force damage on it or something?
I don't think it's force damage, but I believe fire will ignite it.
They're spikes. Spikies.
Is it like... Oh, it's not like the entangling... I'm thinking the like entangling vine thing, because you said growth.
And it spikes
don't know.
growth. I don't know either. I'll be sad if it does.
Still on my feet.
I might just play it safe here, actually, and heal. And then
Yeah, heal
maybe... Oh, guys, I didn't long strider us. Fuck. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Right?
We're hanging in there.
Maybe...
We're doing the things.
I'm gonna go get down there, and I'm gonna loot Jahira's body, and then I'm gonna leave.
Come into the spite growth. Oh no, they're gonna go in the other way. Fuck me. I should have put it at the bottom.
Oh, nice. Oh, get bucked.
Damn.
Yeah, I should have put it at the fucking bottom, dude.
Yeah, you should have put it at the bottom.
I mean, I can recast it. Actually, it's really strong.
That is a huge area. That is insane.
Yeah, they're about to get fucked. I can't wait.
Yeah, that is like viney things.
Then
I think
you
fire
can't.
will ignite that.
Yeah. Come on, Zero. Follow me. Yes, come and see in a world of pure imagination.
Yeah, they're all going that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna recast it to the bottom of the steps, and then they're gonna be fucked.
That might be the strat. You cast spike growth, and then like a like at the edge of spike growth where it won't touch, like a wall of fire or something
Oh
like that.
no!
What?
What?
I have
Fear?
my speed potion.
Oh, lethargic.
Fucking
Yeah.
fuck.
Oh.
She can't move this next turn.
Well, I don't know
That's
if
all right.
the. Do you think? I think they'll get to about here.
Oh, it doesn't work. I have to cast a spell. I can't use
Yeet.
my cantrip. Dang it. That's annoying.
God damn!
Nice.
Well, shit. Maybe I'll just kind of hang out here.
Yeah,
Don't
we'll
worry,
just
me
stay
and Christy got this. Okay, we got this.
That's all I can do.
I fucking didn't pay
And
attention.
Christy's not even
Fuck.
at her full strength right now. Christy was down there. We probably would have been done killed them all already.
I was just
No.
afraid that they were all
Probably
gonna
be game
jump
over,
me.
dog.
Yeah, they probably
Recreating her
all gonna
character
jump me.
again.
Nah.
Dude.
There was so many of them. I mean, I could probably go
I
down
feel like
there
I would do
now
this
that there's
again.
like less.
Hey, you're not coming towards me, are you? I don't appreciate that.
Don't. No, stay away. No.
Oh no.
Fuck you. It's okay. Everybody else, come on. It's okay. I'll be okay.
Oh, I panned.
I panned.
Every time I
Whoa!
pan,
Oh no. Oh no.
might have to run up, put it like the top of the stairs.
I might put it like in this corridor of the steps, dude. No joke. They have to run through this.
Yeah.
Okay. I might come and do
Time to push
like this. Oh wait, I need to like hold up.
I'm gonna cast a spell on something.
Oh,
Just so I can get my-
There, okay.
Yeah.
Look at this shit.
Well, I'm
Nice.
flying.
I hurt myself, but it's okay.
Spikes.
Hopefully they'll start dying. You can't
That is
fucking,
beautiful.
dude. Is this World War II? Warfare right now?
Look at that. Booming blade, invis. Booming blade, invis.
I'm coming to
Yeah.
save you, Gab.
She's gonna
Oh,
walk.
shit.
Yeah, she's gonna walk right into the spikes.
Oh, that's
Don't! No! Let them think. Let them come up the steps.
You just hide there for a little bit, Christy.
Yeah, I'm invisible. We're good. We're good.
I can't even see the enemies. I just see y'all's character models. That's it.
This guy is 100% running towards me, I think. Hey, other way. Hey, dude. Why is this one dude running towards me? What the hell?
Get fucked.
Brody wants that booty.
Oh,
I'm going
okay.
back. He's like, fuck this shit.
That's funny.
Oh, she's coming back to you, dude.
Oh, she walked
No,
right past
listen.
me.
Oh, she might be looking for you. Okay.
They're
Yeah.
gone. Find them.
Oh my god, are you gonna be in range of her find person or whatever?
Might.
Nah.
Ooh.
Oh, I got lucky.
Oh.
She didn't
Yeah.
even detect the fucking phony.
She's stupid.
I'm out of combat.
I'll try to get some hits on her next turn.
I'm out of combat now. This is sick.
Wait, stay in Viz, dude. Have them come up here.
I'm gonna play a little ditty over here.
Play
Play a little tune.
You don't want me to do booming blade on her?
I mean, if you want to. Wow.
I didn't do shit. Oh my god.
Wow. I can't even see the enemies anymore.
Ow.
Oh. This actually looks hilarious because to me, when I go to Christy, there's no enemies and she just fell on nothing.
Maybe that
I think
was
she got whacked.
Yeah, maybe that was not the play.
I tried to tell you.
At least
They
Wolf's
should have
out.
said invis.
At least Wolf's
They're
out
coming to kill you now.
if things go bad.
Yeah. And Drew's
Ow,
off being
oh
dead.
my
He's probably playing
God.
RuneScape right now.
No,
No, I'm watching the Mariners game right now.
Oh, see? It's just relaxing.
Alrighty. Let's see here. Imagine watching sports ball. It sounds so boring. That's the real reason he died.
Haha, bitch.
I can't fucking see, dude.
To be fair, doing this like for the 50th time or the 10th time, it kind of gets boring after a while.
Hey, talking about this is the first time.
Yeah, this is the first time we've been here.
I'm talking about for me. I've already beaten a tactician run. The difference with the honor mode is the legendary abilities.
I want to resurrect.
Babe, Seattle 1, 6-2.
Yay, let's go.
3-2. Going back to Detroit. Fucking Toronto.
I don't even know what
Toronto.
to do.
Yeah.
I said Toronto.
Okay, I can close my iPad now. Ow. Ow.
Welcome back, Crippler.
Oh shit. Nice.
Hey, nice.
All right.
Yeah, they're gonna kill Christy.
Oh my god.
Moonrise Towers.
Ow.
They're gonna kill Christy.
Fucking holy fire. Fuck out my face. Talk to present. Wait. How did Christy die?
Fucking. What's his name?
She fucked around and found out, bro.
Basically,
Oh.
yeah.
Wait, Shahira! Like, ooh. Yeah, skimming her. Shahira's
I'm just gonna be up here waiting for them. I'm just buffing myself.
Shahira's
Knock
naked.
it off. Zarel.
Let me see.
Too late to my inventory now. Come on with me. Fuck, I'm
That's
encumbered.
wild.
Okay.
That scimitar you
Christy.
got actually kind of crazy.
Didn't need to do me like that.
You mean Shahira's
battle
weapon?
mace. Yeah, the Sylvan one.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't want to come up the steps now? You don't want to come up the steps?
You fucking little cunt. Oh, beloved, you piss me off. Fucking midget.
You can't say that.
Killed him in one hit. Huh. Really was a
Yeah, I'm
midget.
dead now.
No, you're not.
Oh,
I'm coming.
nice. All right.
At the ready. Those are a lot of people there.
Oh, we can't
You know
short
what?
rest because Gab's in combat, right?
And George.
I can't do my Shadow Blade.
Ooh. Critical hit.
Actually,
Broke
I
their
wonder if it'll
concentration
let
to
us
silence
because
now.
we're in camp. Oh no,
Let you do what?
short rest. No, it doesn't let us.
No, we're both in combat still. So Zrel is silenced. And also
you
broke
probably
their
could do-
concentration gap.
Is if you really wanted to, and you wanted to spend the money, you could probably respec and then just respec everything back into it, and you'll get all your shit back.
What, babe?
No, it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Right.
Yeah,
that
Zrel's,
If I leave
Zrel's
camp, I'm gonna be back where
silenced.
I'm at,
They
right?
won't be able to
Okay.
fuck with you for a turn. Okay, or that little fucker over there. Said I'm coming for your ass.
Oh.
Walk into the spikes.
Dude, I'm just seeing a
Really?
bunch of spike growth. My combat log is full.
Oh,
You
I
like
can,
that?
Dumb.
oh, I can summon a weapon to my hand.
They have to walk through
let's
it to get
do-
to me,
Oh,
man.
what's up, Zrel? What happened? Can't cast a spell? That's crazy. 10%? Fuck.
You just summon a weapon?
Yeah,
I think that
summoned a
weapon that you summon is
10%?
bound to you.
Zrel's
So
dead.
you can't
Nice.
like drop it or anything, I think. Yeah,
Oh.
pack down.
All right, we'll see how this goes.
Well, if I have a another Mind Flayer specimen, if you want to use it. I just took it from Zrel.
I do.
All right.
I'm coming.
All right. Adept Furyk. That's not very nice.
This dude just staring at the wall.
Yeah, for real. Just gonna pop a massive heal.
Everything.
And 14.
There we go.
Incredible.
I can't really do anything. He has
I
to
got it.
come up here.
No, I got him. Did he come after me? I'm right here.
Where do we get that orb thing that you can like kind of like get unlimited spell slots or whatever?
Yeah.
Outside of Baldur's Gate, that little town. I forgot what it was called.
Gotcha.
We're almost there. They could kill Ketheric Tharn and the whole fucking camp bullshit. Fuck the gay Githyanki dude, and then we're there.
Well, don't we have to fight Ketheric twice before we actually get to Baldur's Gate though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
How is Furyk still alive? You fucking little shit. Okay,
Oh,
My green screen.
got him.
there you go.
Stupid.
All right, I'm gonna stop concentrating on spike growth now.
Yeah, it's just the guy at the top of the fucking rafts right here.
Oh my god, he's so far away from me, dude.
Yeah, same.
There we go, that looks better.
He's all the way over there, the first room. That's crazy. I can walk over there and try and push him down.
They should all be running.
Here I am.
I don't think you can get to him, can you? No.
I don't think so. I think I gotta
Nope.
like,
Yeah, he's in the first room.
yeah. Hold on.
Alrighty, I'm just gonna watch some combat. I can't really watch the combat. I might come back just to get back into combat so that I can watch what's happening because I can't see anything.
It's just this one guy left on the rafter, his stupid acolyte.
Oh, bet.
Yeah, he can't hit us. We can't hit him right now. One more move, then I can do it. Yeah, he can't.
Maybe I can.
Oh, now he can hit me. You're a cunt. You're an actual
Wild.
cunt, you know that? Know what?
Target too far, damn it.
How is this interrupted?
Fuck you, dog.
Oh.
Get him?
Yeah, I got him. I might slip. Fuck you, Jahira.
Fuck you,
normally saying.
Jahira.
Oh, I can't move anymore. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got this.
Oh, hold on. Oh, you finished it. Nice.
We did it. Mamacita.
There's a naked
we
Jahira.
did it.
Yeah, don't. Well, I already had my way with her, so I'm good.
Oh,
That's wild.
that's crazy. You can't say that. Oh, smoke powder bomb.
That's a wild statement.
+2 endurance, baby.
B.
I'm a king. Why be a king when you can be a god? My buddy Jordan's playing Battlefield 6.
What's hiding here?
All right.
Timothy.
That was a fight and a
Yeah, a
half.
long rest now or what? I cannot fast travel now. We gotta
I'm
go
trying to
back
get the
outside.
fuck off this goddamn rafters.
Spellcrux amulet.
Go back the way you came, Gab.
I'm coming down.
Oh, okay.
I had to like hop, skip, and jump all the way across this fucking place, man.
Hop, a skip, and a
Hop,
jump.
skip, and a jump.
Yeah. So
She
we're
has an
going
orange
to
on her.
long rest then. Oops, not that.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm already
I'll
at
go
the-
outside.
Yeah, I'm almost at the Moonrise fast travel. I'm coming. I'm here.
Hop, a skip, and a jump. I'm heading back.
Anyone else we still need to loot? Probably back in the first room, maybe.
I was looting a skeleton and I found a bone. I don't know what I was
Nice.
expecting. I got a bone to pick with you.
Oh wait, where the fuck is my armor? Oh, I accidentally put I accidentally put different armor on. I was like, what the fuck?
You Wolf, did you equip that necklace I got you?
I just did, yeah.
Nice. I was sad we didn't do the mimic. I wanted to kill him. The mimic. Fucking FNAF cunts.
Long rest. Why do you insist on picking on me? You know what? Pissing me off.
You know what? You're pissing me off.
Lazel, listen. There are more fish, and I am a fish.
There are more fish.
There are more fish.
Wolf, we should play Repo when your hand gets better.
Yes. You still need to pay
Down to-
fucking Mage Arena.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, when my hand gets better, I'm probably going to be playing a shit ton of Fellowship.
Bet.
I am so excited for that game. If I could buy it for you, I totally would. But I don't have the money.
Nah, you're good.
What's this?
What's this?
It's $25, $25 hairs.
Gotcha. We also gotta play Cuff Bust.
Cuff bus.
But yeah, I can't wait to bust with you. That's going to be awesome.
Okay,
pretty
you
gay.
can't see. Where'd y'all go?
Camp?
Back to the Moonrise fast travel, then we went to camp.
This reminds me of a song. You know what's
This
great? You know
reminds
what's
me of- what
crazy,
song?
George? It says poor performance here, but because Christy's deaf, it actually says good performance on her screen.
That's crazy.
It shows superb performance on her screen.
Yep. I can't play it. It just keeps breaking. What are you throwing? Oh.
The ball for scrap.
Sorry, I have fireball that I just get really antsy.
Hold on. I have a question. I wonder.
Goddamn.
Oh my, the room powder bomb. I found it.
Hey, Scratch. Someone should play a barbarian so they can throw Scratch.
It's fucked up.
Someone throws the ball, then someone throws Scratch at the ball.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Alrighty. Hurry up, Christy. Gee, oh, she just got here. My fault. Alright, let's do this. Let's long rest.
Oh, my mom. Oh, well. I'm going to sleep with the room powder bomb in my.
Would you like to go
Yummy.
to bed?
Would you like to go to bed? Oh, I have to hand pick all this stuff because we're out of stuff. Right, there we go.
Stupid. Better not eating the owlbear egg, you cunt.
Oh, oops.
Mmm.
Ooh.
Hey, I might have cooked to get the Yankee egg.
Nice.
Lazel disapproved.
What egg did you say? What egg?
Oh, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, I left.
Hey, babe, look what's in my hand.
What is that?
Alright, I'm
I
gonna
know they don't
loot
know what
like
this is.
everything.
Is that the
I
root
was saying, I
powder
don't know if you wanted to
bomb?
buff, but we can loot everything.
don't know, baby.
Yeah,
I'll find
we'll
out.
Loot, I'll
No.
get buff before we go up into Ketherick fight.
Hey, Scratch, fetch.
Yep.
I'm
Wolf, do
just
you want
kidding.
the
Insane.
spell crux amulet?
Getting so many amulets. What does it do?
It's spell slot restoration.
There we go.
Spell slot restoration?
Yeah.
Where's it at?
It's the one with the pink border.
Oh, I want. Oops. Blah, blah, blah. One with the pink border.
All right. You ready to continue the fight?
You see it?
I'm looting.
Did you send it to me?
Here, I'll send it to you.
I'm looting.
Oh, I say I don't see it.
I'm getting
I'm also
food.
colorblind though, so there it is.
Oh, I forgot. I forget.
Crazy. We would forget. Okay, spell slot restoration. What does this do? Replenish an expended spell slot of any level? Oh, bruh. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm not gonna wear it constantly, but that might be something I usually wear.
Barnaby.
Uh,
Okay.
Oh,
I'll be
y'all
at
are
the
back
door for the
inside.
next area. Y'all are ready? Oh, room powder barrel? It's good.
Let's see.
I'm collecting
Guys.
supplies so we don't run out of long rests.
Sounds good.
Open up.
If I throw a room powder barrel at
Yes,
Ketherick Thorn,
we'll die.
will he live?
Probably in his current state, yes.
Oh, gotcha. I'll save it for the second. All right, I'm at the ornate door whenever y'all are ready. Glory to the absolute.
Bye-bye.
Hi.
Hello. We're seeing a bunch of keys. There's a rotten fish.
Yeah, there's like a
Shit in this
bunch
guy.
of keys.
Ooh.
I'm here. I'm over.
I might take that. He actually has 3 soul coins. Holy fuck. Big bucks. 3 souls.
Oh, skeleton.
Don't kill my skeleton. I can't summon him again until long rest.
Why are you sitting next with? Get the fuck away from me.
What do you mean, bro? It's cold. No sunlight.
Everybody wants to cuddle like with dick warmth.
Hey, if I'm cold and I need warmth to survive, I'll do what I gotta do, okay?
It's like a portable heater.
Wild.
Oh wait, I can pop one of these.
Picked up 1 gold.
Yeah. Oh, rattle bones. Damn, you gave him so much more health.
I give you all a lot more health. Because I use it as a level 4 spell.
Damn.
Yeah, no big deal or anything.
No big deal, you know. Nah, don't worry about it, you know. It's no big deal. Alrighty. Are we fucking ready for this shit?
Are we ready?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Let's maybe save before we go in there.
That okay? It doesn't. All right, we saved when we long rested, but.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter because if we die, we die.
I was about to say if we die, it's it.
Okay, she went in. You guys can go.
All right, I've been given permission.
So you guys keep getting enhanced sleep.
You.
Oh shit.
Oh shit! There we are.
What have you done?
J.K. Simmons.
What have you done to me?
What up, bitch?
Damn.
You know what? I'm gonna try it.
Get back here.
No, not that.
J.K. Simmons, no.
Damn it.
You'll never get your pictures of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man's Peter
dude.
Parker, by the way.
This far, you've stripped your enemy of his advantage. Why would you show mercy now?
Surge doesn't show mercy. I like number 2.
Yeah, too.
Oh my god.
Also,
Get it?
why are you being nice to him? I'm confused.
I don't know. I was just.
Yeah, why are you
trying
being
something.
nice to him?
Oh yeah,
Fuck this
that's
guy.
fine. That's fine.
I have to get the.
Christy,
I have to
respect
get
her.
a
Never heard
30
this
here though.
Dialogue.
Yeah, you got this. You got this.
I can't even see to help you, dude. Like I can't see your
Yeah, I
roll.
can't see
I
the
can't
rolls.
count.
Yeah, same.
I'm just staring at you.
I don't know if I.
Oh,
wanna
it's because
use
you
all that
ran off.
inspiration,
That's what
though.
happened.
Well, me and Wolf can't see either.
Right, because she ran off from us.
Oh.
Yeah,
Remember,
she started
she
the
followed-
conversation in a
yeah.
different zone.
A mouse
No,
who
not
fancies
even. Like
herself
in the
an eagle.
cutscene, she runs off.
I will
Oh,
not be
I see.
threatened
To
by a
Ketherick.
thrall,
Okay, I failed
a
the roll.
slave.
I didn't want to
That's why
waste
she's
all
alone.
the. I didn't want to
in the
waste all
fist
the
that will
inspirations.
crush
You can't call people that, bro. A
and
slave? That's
when
crazy.
I demand.
Oh,
Wow.
my. All right, well it's time to
Could
kill
you
him.
Imagine.
Cancel this fucker.
Before the absolute. Bow!
I'm gonna make you get on your knees, Ketherick. You're the one who bows.
Oh, this fucking relic again.
Yeet. I got yeeted back.
All right, now
Welcome
we're all
back.
together.
The prism. You've had it all this time. You worm.
A worm.
You
Can't
will
say
bow
say that.
before me.
We're just saying all
And
kinds of
if
slurs.
you
That's
will
crazy.
Not bow,
Wolf, let's
you
cancel
will break.
Let's mug him.
Bernard.
That's
Edward Dawn.
the king,
The king of licks.
How good it is to see you again, Ketherick.
That's
At
why
Let's
last
mug 'em.
you found a god master that suits
I don't
you.
think you're picking up what I'm putting down.
The thief. You stole Isabel from me, and now you think you'll take my life in the bargain?
You dare to speak her name. After your crimes,
But what if-
But what if he tells her that we killed
you would
Isabel?
evoke her before me.
Enough.
Well,
that
they
would be
took their
wild.
body.
Ends here and now. At last.
That's
He
such
will
a
tremble
liar.
at the power
You're
of
such a
touch.
liar.
Give him
Doesn't
all
he in
you
here and now?
have.
You run away like a
The gods
cowardly little
fight at our
bitch.
side.
Oh shit! There's a floating mace.
I'm just amazed.
It was just a
I'm
mace
just
there.
a fucking maze, dude.
The holy mace.
Okay,
Oh,
what
God,
is?
what is
oh,
his-
Yeah, let's look at his legendaries.
Oh gosh, why does he have like so many? Legion of Bane, huh?
Ketherick and Horde Strike.
Okay.
Launch a
When a
hammer of spectral force at a
foe is
creature your minions
attacked-
are attacking.
Under deadly orders.
Oh, so that's pretty much every one of them.
Affected entity was ordered to attack a specific enemy.
Oh no, wait. No.
Okay. Yeah.
He's
So
gonna cast it though. His turn though. All
Legions
right,
of
Gab
Bones.
and Babe, y'all go first.
I
Move.
know. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here.
Apparently, my
His
character's
armor is
watching our
so
backs.
fucking cool.
I want his
But
armor.
he's level 11.
level 11.
This is some bullshit.
Yeah, it kind
Brody,
of is.
relax. Relax. It's honor
No,
mode.
he's
We
got
don't
access,
expect
dude. He's got access to freaking super spells.
this
Whoa.
level 5 spells.
Yeah, you got the level 5 spell.
All right, babe. I applaud your attempt, but
Listen. I'm gonna need you to not miss a target point blank with a sword.
there you go.
What
Babe.
just happened? What just happened?
Yeah. The aura of protection,
I
and aura
didn't
of
do.
hate.
I didn't do anything with Booby Blade. That's crazy.
Found it in nearby fiends and undead deal an additional to damage.
Damn.
Oh, melee weapons. Okay, so we should probably
gotta be
kill.
careful.
You should probably kill the skeletons.
Yeah. I was gonna say we gotta kill the necromites first before we
Okay.
can do really much of anything. You can target Ketherick Thorn. Nothing telling you
I
can't.
can
but
take I'm gonna go on the right side and I'm gonna lightning bolt all 4 of those guys because they're all on the line and see if I can do some major deeps.
Then I'll go left then. Wait, to clarify, Wolf, you're going this way, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'll go this way.
Okay. Christy, you are so dead. It was nice knowing you.
Oh, babe. You got so lucky.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Deadly.
Oh,
There it
no one
is.
cares
Oh,
about her.
deadly orders?
Only on her, though. Who gives a shit? He does not give a fuck about you, babe. All right, Sticker Bite. Let's go.
What's this?
Here's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. One down.
Amazing. I'm gonna make this a little bigger. I can hit all
Haha.
3 of you. I gotta make you all wet first.
Oh. Oh, I'm blinded for some reason? What the fuck?
No. Not this one. Not this
Oh my
one.
god.
Very nice.
Oh. What are those?
Oh.
Well, if you
We
look like
might
a
want to
fucking
kill
wizard.
those.
Oh,
Well,
shit,
who's
yeah.
that, Harry?
Yeah, we gotta kill those.
They look gross.
Yeah, after
They
a
look
turn, I
like
think
skeleton
they
poop.
yeah, they come back as necromites after a turn, I think.
Go, skeleton. Beautiful.
Necrotic damage.
You
That
should've
skeleton's
summoned a
more useful
zombie.
than you.
Hey. Hey.
Hey,
Oh,
hey.
shit.
Oh shit.
Hi.
Two titans fighting. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, she hit him.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
but
Oh,
she got knocked on her ass.
What even
Fucking
happened?
useless
How
fucking
do
demigod.
you fall? You have wings.
Useless demigod. Good shits. Good
Like
shit, Wolf.
literally, how do you fall when you have wings? What the fuck?
I don't know. How do you fall?
Okay.
How do you fall when you have literally everything the dirge has? That's crazy.
Right? Also, you haven't used your Slayer form. What the hell?
I just realized that too, yeah.
You know what? When I get back up,
When I get back up. If you
Get
get
back
up.
up.
Oh, nice.
Amy trying to bite your toes.
Fucking Squire.
Get away from my
Turn.
bingy jump. Oh my god.
oh my god.
Wow.
Ayla might
Okay, that's
die.
not good.
Oh no.
Yep. They came back.
Bro, they
God damn
just
it.
they fucking came up in one turn. It's weird.
Our
Oh,
turn
what the
order
hell?
is
That was
kind of
really fast.
Yeah, our turn order is kind of fucked in our favor. It's not in our favor.
It was supposed to be 2 turns, though.
No, one turn.
Oh, was it 1? I thought it said 2.
One.
Damn.
Oh, double check. But that wasn't 2 though. If it did say 2, that was not 2.
That was not 2 turns.
You
Oh,
lied.
shit, it's over now.
Oh shit. Isn't it cool if Catherick Thorn reacted? He's like, "You're back," or something like that.
Right?
5% chance.
Good job,
what the
babe.
fuck?
Look him
That
up.
wasn't me.
It is Catherick Thorn, so
Thorm.
Storm.
Thorn sounds cooler.
But he just changes the name because
Like
it sounds cooler.
Thornberry. That's what you're saying, right?
I'm saying Tharn as like THARN.
Brand nearby creatures with a sinister mark so that their deaths make you harder
It's not
to
even
kill.
the right word letters.
Yeah, Catherick
What?
Thorm.
I don't know.
I
what that
know.
means.
Did it say you brand somebody to make your death or your attack stronger?
It said brand nearby creatures with a sinister mark so that their deaths make you harder to kill.
So yeah, you get buffed every
Yeah.
time you get a kill with someone underneath that bane.
If you
that
could,
curse.
yeah.
I wouldn't put it on Catherick though. I would put it on like the little these fuckers, the necromites. Because every time you kill them, you get stronger.
That's the strat. We just buff the fuck out of Christy.
Okay, or they can just
Or every single one of them saves.
Wait a minute.
wait a minute. Did you
What
curse?
just
Gab?
happened?
No?
I
I saw something that
I
happened.
think
No,
it's 'cause
she-
there's two by. Oh, the one on the ground has Bull's murderous mark on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, Gab has the Ball's murderous mark on her too.
Is she?
Look,
Oh, she
Look.
does.
that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like it affects teammates.
I guess
I guess
shit.
it kind of makes sense. Like if
Gab
Gab goes
but-
down, Christy gets stronger.
Yeah.
Wait, why am I selected, dude?
Okay.
Holy
All right,
shit.
Catherick, I need you to relax, bro.
No. No, please. Wait.
Oh shit.
Wait, what the hell? He just ran
alright.
into my shit?
Yeah. No. Got that one.
Oh yeah, boys.
Not that one. Fuck off. You know what, little fucking bitch? You're coming to me, says Dara. God damn it. I'm gonna put you at a disadvantage, though.
Sus. Sus
And I-
Dara.
And I end my turn.
She's sus.
Yes, she is. Alright.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Wolf,
try
what
to-
is your
I might
choose?
die here. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh shit, never mind. I can't do it because that was my bonus action. That's all right.
Why
Listen,
did-
we're
why did
okay.
He got closer to his death. That's what he
You
did.
flew like 2 inches.
Listen, I was gonna. You know what? I'm having second thoughts.
That's right back. Brody moved by a distance of net 0. Displacement has been 0.
Don't worry, my skeleton's got you.
Skeleton will save us.
Dame Aiden's about to fucking pass out.
Okay. Dame, you literally got almost one tapped by this fucker. Oh, okay, you still don't learn.
What?
That was incredible, Aylin. No.
Oh, shit. Wolf, hit that.
Incubating.
Oh, you fucking
Skeleton
whore.
will explode on its next turn, dealing 627 necrotic damage.
Fuck.
Birthing a necromite. Okay, so it is next turn.
Fucking shield. Okay, yeah, it's one turn, or not even one. It's like whenever it goes again.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I think our turn order kind of fucked us. I'm being for real. Oh,
That's
wow.
fucking rude.
Your own skeleton.
That's rude.
That's nice. Hi, babe, where are you?
What do you mean, where am I? I'm the big ugly thing.
Where are
Okay. No. I was more like asking, like, we haven't said anything. You good? You just mad because you've been dazed?
No,
Fair.
but I'm not. What do you mean? I'm good.
You're blinded?
My bad. Blinded and confused. Beautiful.
Damn, bleeding.
Nice. That okay. That looks
This would be
cool. At
awesome if
least
she wasn't blinded. Can we cure
That'd
her
be awesome.
blindness?
I can. Yeah, I can. I just need to get next to her. Nice.
That shit pisses me off.
Being blind?
Shit. No, the summoning the damn cocoons.
There you go.
Nice.
I'm gonna die.
Nah, you're fine.
No, you're not.
Actually,
You got this.
I'm
You're
gonna
a Baldur's Gate
die.
veteran. You're fine.
You won't die.
He's gonna hit me. I'm scared.
Hey, Wolf, she's a 10-year vet. She's fine.
Right?
Fuck, he's gonna one-shot me, dude.
No. You'll be alright. You'll be alright. You'll be alright.
You guys,
Just end the
It'll be
turn,
okay.
Gav.
I did.
Oh, okay.
Christy, we're waiting
Babe, end your turn. You're fine. Look, watch. He's not gonna do anything. He's stupid.
Hello?
He's stupid. Oh, that's. Oh. Okay.
I was seeing if I could ring the bell.
Huh.
Uh-oh.
I think she just gets up next turn.
Yeah, she does.
Okay. So here's.
Oh, I can't hear you, babe. I don't have a level 2 spell slot anymore.
I'm fine.
I'm talking about your blindness.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. I can't help you anyway, so. God damn it. Fucking little Sustera bitch. Fuck you. There you go. Big hit.
Hey, I won't be able to get that other skeletal involucre.
It's
What the shit
okay.
that is.
You fucking whore. Oh, I'm gonna try. No, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work.
Skelly boy Kendo.
It's okay. Got you.
You know what?
You know what? In times of dire need, this reminds me of a song.
Okay.
Hey, she's back up with 1 health.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
thought
we
she
can
went back to
heal
full
her,
health.
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah, we
no.
can, but
No, you are not casting fireball.
thank you, God. That was fucking crazy.
That would have been. Woo!
This isn't
I
good.
like that
My
noise of it.
performance.
Oh god.
That's it. I'm mad. You ruined my performance.
Wire's dead.
Nice.
Oh my god, dude, these skeletal things are so annoying.
Yeah, they are.
I didn't
Trying to
get. Whatever.
Oof. I'm trying to see if I can, if I have any items that could cure your.
There we go.
Nice, baby.
Nice. I don't think I have any.
What if we pick up Ketheric Thorm and toss him overboard? Toss him overboard. Remember that shit from Toy Story, Wolf?
Oh, George.
What's up?
Can I not send that to you?
Send what?
Hold on.
Why do I have a room powder bomb in my backpack now?
Oh my god. Please no.
I gave you the Spellcrux amulet.
Wow.
I don't know if you'd want to risk equipping
Oh
it.
shit. We're frightened.
The Spellcrux amulet? What is that?
It gives
dude?
you a spell
We're
slot of
frightened.
any
No.
level.
No, I don't need that, dude. It's fine. You take that back. Take that back. You
I'm gonna
are the
destroy this
spellcaster.
thing, though.
I'm gonna send it to temporary cripple. There you go.
Beautiful.
Okay. I'm gonna try to end this bitch right here with everything I got. I'm at a disadvantage, but fucking we ball.
Damn.
That's not good.
I got rid of the 2 thingies.
Ooh, 46 health. Nice. All right. One more time. You fucking
wow.
whore. It's okay.
I've been knocked down.
But I
I get up again.
I was just about to say that.
I'll get knocked down. Hey, she's dead. Good shit.
Wow, my skeleton actually did
Hallelujah.
something.
Oh,
What the hell?
she's freaking out.
Your
That's
fucking
wild.
skeleton. Your fucking skeleton got it. What the fuck?
That's crazy.
What a looter. Just remind me of a song. There you go.
You go, Skelly boy.
Dude, skeleton OP as fuck.
What?
Okay. No, that saved her. That saved her.
Oh.
Yeah, she's doing
I
the come
didn't
from.
die.
Yeah. Imagine if she pushed Gab off of the tower. Job, babe.
Damn.
That would have been hilarious, actually.
All right, we're doing good now. We're doing good now.
I can't believe my fucking skeleton killed that thing.
That's
Yeah, I
so
can't believe it
funny.
either. I'm over here. Fucking Paladin of Vengeance over here, not able to land a hit, but this fucking level 3 skeleton with its tattered bow and arrow fucking lands a hit on her.
I might be able to lunge
Rattling
at
bones.
Ketheric next turn.
That's like when Yajirobe cut Vegeta's tail in Dragon Ball
I
Z.
can't do anything.
He destroys
I'm
Goku when he cuts
immobile.
his tail off.
Everything is far away. Oh well.
Well, we
Can I
should name your
hit him with
skeleton
this?
Yajirobe.
No,
I should.
cannot.
If I could rename him.
Yeah. There you go, babe. Not blinded anymore. Okay. Oh, it's not very nice. Ketheric, you little fuck.
Bro, yeah, I gotta stop incubating shit.
Nice. Okay. Oh, bro. Get away from me.
Wait.
Target cannot be moved by force. Says you.
Can you recast your lightning, like over here? I might be able to lunge him off my next turn.
I mean, I have
No,
to make
baby.
it wet, and then I gotta do
Baby.
a thing, and
What?
You can't
What I'm
move him
gonna
by
try to
force.
do.
Oh, you can't?
He's immovable by force. This was literally
I'm
telling
gonna
me.
try to do. I'm gonna try to do this though.
Damn.
Nice.
Oh no, I don't have any more stuffies.
Oh, I don't know why I
Oh
did that.
no.
Yeah, I'm just
stupid.
gonna go ahead and do it.
Electrified water.
Don't worry, skeleton, you get it. You suck. You're useless.
Oh, damn it.
Got this, Gab.
Get him, boys.
Get him, boys. Nice.
Dump him.
Get his ass.
Damn it.
Damn.
I could just be a little bitch again.
Oh, that was funny. I'm gonna make a fucking Ultra Instinct Goku meme out of that. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Dun, 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 dun. He
That
fucking
was
shoves
so
you.
Dude,
stupid.
he said, sit down.
My lord.
Is it gonna show me all ugly in the cutscene?
Probably. No, it won't.
You must return to your prison. And my daughter must be reborn. One last time.
Your daughter. Isabel.
Oh, she's gonna find out she's dead. Oh, fuck.
Did he?
Hey, yo, hear me out.
Bro. Fuck is wrong with you?
Dude. No.
No.
When Gab says no, you know that's bad.
You will fall as sure as she. This has only begun.
Boys, this is game.
That tentacle was colossal. How can such a
Still a fucking-
Can you help me up? Help my
necromite.
ugly ass up.
It's okay, babe. I got it. He's dead. All done. Get that ugly thing up. What's in this heavy
Incredible.
chest? Ooh,
Beautiful.
Ring of Exalted Marrow. Who wants that?
I don't know. What does it do?
Let's see.
I'm so ugly.
Exhort the Risen, and then Goldish Touch. 2 spells. Exalted Risen. Subjugate the undead with your command. Ghoulish Touch. Lash out with deadly claws and possibly paralyze a target. It's like 2 spells.
Ooh.
You can have it.
I mean, that could be good. I mean, I don't really do melee, but.
No, it's a spell. It's a necromancy spell.
Well, yeah, but the other thing, the ghoulish touch.
Oh.
Lash out with deadly
up
claws
to you.
and possibly paralyze a target. Well, actually, I wonder.
Too heavy to shove. Can't shove Christy. She's too big.
Ha!
All right. There we go. Want to do a long
Better
rest
than
again?
nothing.
You can long rest here.
Sure. If you want to. Sure.
Down.
I don't think we can long rest when we go inside.
All right.
Would you like to go to bed?
I would like to go to
Oh,
bed.
that's cool. I can use my distant spell to make that melee spell a ranged spell.
Nice.
Beautiful.
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 Hello?
Goodbye.
Did you see that fucking camera angle, or was it just me? I was
I
staring at the
I wasn't looking at the screen.
I was staring at the inside of a blanket.
Oh, nice. Sounds cozy. All right, everyone, get your buffs. Get your buffs.
This is gonna suck. Yep, this is gonna suck.
What do you mean? We'll be eight.
I just don't have any more necrotic resistance potions.
It's okay. I have one.
Oh, nice.
Do
Oh,
I
nice,
have
pop it.
any?
Catherine does
Why
a lot
don't
of necrotic
you
damage.
pop it?
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, I have
give it to me.
the elixir.
You might be more
Right,
valuable than
elixir,
me.
right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a lot of necrotic damage in this next phase. So
Be
be wise to
I
have.
don't
I
know
had
if
one
we'll-
also for last fight.
I don't know if we'll get there tonight.
Get where?
For the next
Ketheric.
phase. Ketheric.
Yeah, we have to go down and fuck around down in the colony for a while.
Yeah.
Gotta go into the flesh. We must enter the
Into
flesh.
the flesh.
The Hollow Tower.
The hole.
The whole.
I'm gonna go jump in this hole.
Oh, okay.
The whole. Wait, is there any good shit over here?
Maybe some scrolls.
That's what I was looking for. Ooh, scroll of being dead.
I'm curious.
Do
I
it.
can push Wolf off.
Oh, a
of
note
the-
for Gortash.
What are you doing? Stop it.
Oh, dude, I can. Oh no, I can't push you off. That's stupid. I could push Gab off. I'm not gonna do that. I just see her, the blue line just shows her falling off the tower. You see it too, Wolf?
I do see it.
You can push her off. Hey, this basket's too bright. Turning this shit off. All right,
Ready?
ready?
You ready?
Yep.
Christy,
Go.
I'm
Go.
ready.
let's do this.
Will you leap after him? Yeah.
We're leaping.
Absolutely.
The hole yawns back at you.
The hole.
Wide.
I feel like I'm Kamari from Final Fantasy.
I'm
X.
never in the cutscene, dude.
Yeah, where are you? The
I
only
don't
cutscene you
know.
were in was when you were getting blamed for something you didn't do.
Yeah.
I paid the guy 300 gold to blame her.
Look, where the fuck am I? I said yes.
Alright. You'll appear as a floating mace here in a second.
Right.
Be where they hub.
Due to budget cuts.
Due to
Due to budget cuts and budget restraints, we could not include Gab.
How long?
Want a hot and spicy. All right, membrane, insane in the membrane, insane in the brain.
Wild.
Tread
Give us the
carefully.
membrane.
We are very close to the source of the absolute now. That telepathic storm has become a tempest.
Oh, they just don't fucking care. That's right. Bet.
These boots have seen everything.
I don't think anyone really cares.
Yeah.
There was another tadpole up there, I think. Oh well.
Here, we can go. Here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Talk
yeah.
to
Did
Chop.
you loot? Sus?
Sus
No,
didn't.
Sus didn't have one.
No, in the on like the dock behind the tower, there's like a barrel
Oh.
of tadpoles, I think, and you can get another one from there.
Hey, look, it's us.
That's wild.
Us. Beautiful.
Does anybody
Talk to
dialogue?
Chop.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Talk the chop.
Hmm.
No will sparks behind his eyes. His mind has been hollowed out to better echo the commands of the collective.
Those are the best kind of
You
workers.
could kill it, end its
Right.
miserable life of enslavement.
Don't question you. Just do
Surely
it.
that would be the humane thing to do. Or you could take advantage of its vulnerability and plunder what's left of its hollow mind for anything that could serve you.
Enter his mind.
Should I do it?
Enter his thoughts.
Pliant as well-worn boots, his mind turns to his work. Chop, cut, sort, shiver of impact, crack of bone. He removes the brains, digs free the squirming tadpoles, the unworthy ones given over to the illithids to become.
Become what?
Yes. Yes. Please.
Let's kill him.
Is he gonna
Let's
go
mug
die?
him.
Let's mug him.
He wants to die. Let's get him, boys.
Down. I'm ready. Why are you sneaking around?
Alright, I'm just gonna smack him.
Fucking far round. Interesting.
Oh, we have to fight all these guys too.
Yep.
That's
It's
the
okay.
road. Yeah.
It's okay. Just little brains. Not very nice.
Oh man.
Pork chop.
He wants to die.
Chuck wants to die. He chose this.
No, I'm just
No, I'm just saying his whole life has been so sad.
Ah!
Beautiful.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, XXIICCOORR.
I'm
I
good.
say
How
that.
are you?
What's up, Sikor?
Yo,
You can't say that.
Shut up, Giblet.
maggot.
Can't say that.
Watch this. 3 hits.
Fight them.
Easiest
Beautiful.
game of my life.
Wow, good job. You
Beautiful.
killed the
Nice.
brains. Pinky and the brain.
Us is locked up.
Oh, butchered mine. Look
Won't
at that.
let me out.
Shout out to Akon.
Locked up.
I'm seeing you whining and crying all
Hey.
on the floor. You see me looking at you like you already know. I like how it gains the pixie.
Oh,
look
sorry,
now.
Chrissy. I'm sorry.
Did you just attack my minion?
No, I
he's
attacked
attacking
you.
Oh.
I thought you were outside the cone. I'm sorry. The terrain there was a little weird.
Oh, it's okay.
Doing pretty good, Sikort. How are you? Again. Just playing some Baldur's shit.
Bald gate.
Bald
This game is
Ooh.
great.
Bald her gate.
her
What these
gate.
helmets?
Yeah.
Brody, what are you
Free
doing?
at
Will you come
last.
kill this
No
thing so
more
we can go
chop chop.
explore freely? Look at this freaking loot goblin over
Yeah,
here, dude.
for real.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That looks fucking cool.
Yeah, and you know what he does with it? He sells it without telling anybody anything.
Yeah, he does.
Right?
He's like, I don't need this. Neither does anybody else.
Yeah, that's true.
Insane.
You pocket
Insane
it
in the
all.
brain.
Insane in the
It's a
brain.
key. A toy block.
Wait a minute.
A raw steak.
Open up.
Oh,
Get
snap.
us.
Yeah, let's
Actually,
get
let's
us
pick the lock.
out.
Should we talk to him?
Get us. You should. I think we could just talk to him, man.
Oh, stuffed bear.
found the helm.
Look at that.
Uh-uh.
We remember
Crazy.
you well.
Oh, a severed
You
pelvis.
saved us once. Perhaps
Like that?
you can do it again.
What? That's weird. What the fuck?
Not kind to us here.
You know what I'm talking about.
We are different, they say.
What are we talking about?
Aberrant. They wish to repurpose us, destroy what they cannot fix. Please help us escape.
Are we helping us again?
Why not?
Oh, thank you. Thank
It's a useless
you.
brain.
You are a good friend. No,
All right. Undead.
rescuer.
Interesting.
will do the trick.
I think we had the key, but it's okay.
Oh, my bad.
You're free. Thank you, friend. But perils
Oh,
remain.
this looks kind of
Hi,
insane,
okay, brain.
actually.
Ah, better to stay together.
Yeah, this helmet looks
You and
does not
us,
have any buff.
We will remain
Here's
with
gold
you.
triumphal helmet.
Call us,
Looks stupid.
and we will be at your
Oi.
side.
Okay.
The regal helmet looks cool, but it has no
Oh.
buffs to it.
Received summon us.
Whoa, this is the
Bet.
Oathbreaker helmet.
Is
Well,
it?
aesthetically it is. Aesthetically it is, but it doesn't really have any buffs.
What? What are you doing? Why? Dude.
Why am I encumbered? Oh, summon us is. Wait.
Christy, no.
Who put all these severed things in my? Oh my god.
I wonder who. I wonder who.
Well, I'm encumbered now. Going into
Was
a
it me?
battle.
That was
Well, yeah. Well, listen here. We wouldn't be in a battle if George didn't shove me into the freaking room.
I feel like encumbering a teammate is probably a lot worse than what I did.
You started a comp. You started.
Why did you encumber Christy?
She could have just.
I didn't know I was
figured it out
encumbered.
because she was walking slower than all of us, and then she
That's
would have
giving a
figured
lot
out, why am I encumbered?
That's giving her a lot of credit.
Okay, well, I was
Have
like,
them funnel and I'll
why
put
the
spike
fuck is
growth.
this braid so
Yeah.
heavy?
Okay, bet. I'm coming back.
I was gonna say, why are you taking us? That brain is literally useless.
This is great. What do you mean? It's not useless. He looks cool as shit
I'm
now.
gonna push you right back into that cone. You keep talking. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
not in combat,
buddy.
so.
Can
Yeah,
I
pal.
drop
about to be.
these? I could send him to camp. Here, I'll send him to camp.
Send his ass to camp. Yeah.
No, I wasn't sending us to camp. I was sending the severed parts to camp.
Why are you sending this ever? Just drop them.
I
What?
wouldn't.
Dirt. She has to keep them.
It wouldn't let me drop them. That's why I sent them to camp.
Reported.
Oh, I love when they all group up like this. Where the fuck is this guy going? Oh.
He's gonna summon more people.
Butchered mind. Heavy boots.
Come
I
here,
need you all
the
to get as
children.
close as possible.
Come
Light
here,
the
the
obscurity.
children. Yes, beautiful children.
You know, I probably shouldn't be frontline.
Nah, you're fine.
No, I want them to funnel, and I'm gonna do spiked growth.
Oh god.
Oh, hello.
All right.
Okay.
Nice. It's a blinded wing horror. It's fine. Nice.
Incredible.
Even better.
Incredible. No, I don't
Bye.
think there's much I can do. I don't think my electricity will hurt the spike to growth.
I don't
If I
know.
just do a little bit of this, you know.
A bit of a cheeky do.
See what happens. This is fun.
Oh,
We're experimenting.
Oh,
Oh, the wall of fire would have been good
oh my
here
god.
too.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Nice.
Let's mug him.
Dude, you one-shot that one.
Never mind, I guess.
Very nice.
I was gonna try and snipe one of them, but you're like, just kill him with the fucking lightning bolt. It's even better.
Very nice. Very nice.
Fire, fire. I'm gonna run away now.
Snarl.
Snarl.
Wow.
don't
You have
think they
wings.
can say
You can
that.
literally fly.
Let him
Amazing.
learn. Let him learn. Oh, okay. I don't think these
That
guys.
spike to growth is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what the fuck?
No. When did you put those crippled parts in her inventory?
While she was talking.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Ow.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. I thought I didn't hit you. My fault. I'm right next to you. See, I can help, but it might hurt you.
God damn.
Do.
I almost got fried, bro.
If I
It's one
do
of
here,
those
let me walk a little forward so I don't do that again.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Death Shepherd's gonna keep trying to summon shit.
That's what it's called.
Sight.
Death Shepherd.
Buddy, fly down here, Howard.
Yeah, come on.
Come on. Pussy.
Wild.
Pussy.
Cool. nice.
Beautiful. Even more beautiful. You know what? I'm just gonna kind of wait. I think. I'm just gonna let this guy walk forward a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, did your spike thing go away?
I think it did.
I think
I don't
so.
see it.
Yeah, I think so. Should be for 100 turns, but I guess I lost concentration at some point.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
I don't know when. Let me look.
Interesting.
Oh, maybe when you got shocked.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, when you shocked me, I couldn't think of
I couldn't
Beautiful.
think.
I couldn't think anymore, dude. I got fried.
Your brain got
Hello?
fried.
Temporary cripple just walks through Christie's Hunger of Hadar, and she doesn't cancel.
Oh, crazy. She wants me to die.
You walked right in it!
Well, you did put the body
She
parts
wants me to
on
die.
me, so
She wants me to die.
yeah, you did.
look,
you
it's the
did
resonance
put a
stone.
bunch of body parts in my pocket, so
I didn't put it in there on purpose.
okay, it just magically got in there then.
We got the resonance stone. What's
Right
the
here.
trick to this again?
Balthazar's notes. Let me see this shit.
I
Oh,
can
eye
just pick it up,
patch.
right?
Give me this shit. I want this eye patch.
By mole.
Mole.
Yeah. Take the resonance stone. I think someone has to hold it like on their person, and then you walk in and out of. Here,
that what
so
it
like
is?
give it. Yeah, so like give it to me. Here, I'll come down there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Resonance
put it
stone. And then I'm gonna send it to Pinky Toe.
Yeah. Okay. And then you find the radius.
Oh, Gortash.
Am I still in it? Am I still in it? Can't tell
I
if I'm
guess
still in
so.
it. Or I don't think I am. Am I?
Oh, the head.
Yeah, it's the feeling of steeped in bliss.
Yeah, I put the true
Oh
mind
yeah,
on
yeah.
it.
Okay, so it's right.
So we're all
Every
in
day
it.
he comes.
Hold on. Let me walk.
Every day I want to tell.
You mentioned Gortash.
Oh, there we go. I'm out. I'm out of it here.
We are
And then you just walk in and out of it whenever you.
That
I'm
it?
not really
What?
sure.
What day is it? First day,
Hold
second
on.
day, third
Let's
day?
see. Okay, hold on. Let me try something.
Hmm.
Maybe it was this.
Good feelings never last, I suppose.
Temporary cripple. Use spell slot restoration.
Is that what it was? I can't remember how it works.
Is that what it? I think that's what they did. I don't know.
You're like,
Interesting.
I almost feel like I might have to watch a video on it again.
Yeah. You want me to send it to camp for now?
Yeah.
You can touch this over here. Chasm.
Oops. I should have profane womb. I didn't mean to.
Whoopsie daisy.
Oh god, where
Yeah,
would
this
this
is-
chasm possibly go?
So this is the little mini game, right?
Any game.
How come I didn't jump? There we go.
You don't have to do this. Wait,
Whoa.
Okay. We're gonna do it, I guess.
I've never done this before.
Really?
I've never done
I
this.
forgot how you do this. I think I had to look up a guide when I was doing this.
It's called science. No, I'm just kidding.
It's called science.
I forgot, what do you get for doing this? You get something, right?
Yeah, I forgot what it was.
Damn, I gotta go across.
I think it's a pretty cool sword or some shit. This reminds me of a song.
Oh, what the you bitch. If I can press the I pressed the go.
This is what I thought biology would be when I was in college.
Really?
Yeah, looking at fucking augmented reality shit. Piecing together neurons. But it's not. It's just an Asian dude who has really bad English and yells at you for not understanding what he says.
That's crazy.
Professor Han was his name. Good man.
Han.
Horrible teacher, but good man. Imagine being the voice actors for this, and then the directors are like, "Okay, this is your motivation. You're a Neuralink." What?
That should do it. Time to see
Babette.
what's back there.
Oh,
There
you
it
need to
is.
get the you need the free cast ability from the Illithid.
Blade of Oppressed Souls. Who wants that?
What does it do?
Oh wait, the waking mind. Right here.
Ooh. This one's pretty cool.
Circlet of mental anguish is also right here, and brain drain gloves.
The psychic damage.
Hey, it's the thing. It's the thing from the trailer. It's the thing. Not
It's
the
right there
trailer.
if you want it.
What is it?
Mental anguish.
I don't see anything. Where's
The
that
grand
thing again?
design.
On the skeleton.
The
Yeah, on the
restoration
Oh, I
skeleton.
see.
of
I
the
see.
Mind Flayer Empire.
Oh.
The dream of all Illithids. The grand design. The restoration of the Mind Flayer Empire. The dream of all Illithids.
Why are the Illithids so stupid?
Are you
I don't know, man.
so judgmental about stupid Illithids?
Were you?
Oh, we got a Illithid sympathizer.
They're
here?
people too.
Yeah, report Wolf.
They don't have souls, bro.
Wow, True Soul would say something like that.
That's
Wolf. Isn't that
crazy. That is
What?
wild.
How would a true soul say that?
I'm an LGBTQI ally. Guys for Illithid.
Isn't the I?
Eyes for a lipid?
Eyes ally.
Eyes
Eyes for a
I thought I was already in there. Fuck.
Is it? Oh, I think it is.
I don't, yeah.
You know, you're right. You're right.
I don't know anymore. There's always a billion different.
I don't know. I
things.
don't know what I means. I don't know what the I's for.
Intellect Devourer. That's what it stands for.
Oh, you're right. Oh,
This little fucking thing.
it's off.
Stop.
We should kill it. Here.
Down, Chewie.
Get it. Kill it.
No, that's okay. It's okay now. Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna just.
We should kill it. Alright, whatever.
shit.
Whatever.
Come on.
Better mean none.
Open the anus.
Lucky son of a bitch. Close it behind you.
Yeah, close it. It's over here.
We killing these
Stone
guys?
Cressa's notes. Rustic chest.
Forgot about these guys.
Ooh, yeah, there's a rustic chest.
We got
in here.
Harry Henry. You want to kill Harry Henry?
Harry
I don't think
Henry.
you can
Yes.
say that.
Oh, 45 coins.
I want to kill. I would like to kill you.
Harry Henry's journal.
I'm down to kill Harry Henry.
I'm killing these.
Okay.
I'm killing him.
Go for it.
And
I'm
then
down
we
to
can
kill him.
loot.
Oh, dude, Iron Finger is mine.
Everyone else
No,
minds their
fucker.
business.
I think you have a problem.
What do you mean? Actually, babe, go up there and talk to him.
And talk to him?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to see if there's any dirge stuff.
I was gonna put everybody to sleep, hopefully.
Lashes. Balthazar let one of his walking carcasses lapse from his control. Let's ferry them back. Wait! By the Bone Lord. It's you.
It's me.
I thought I'd
It is
never
I,
see you.
Ashton Kutcher.
I wanted
Oh,
to
there it
keep
is.
you for myself. But they shipped you away.
Play
Should I do
dumb.
the play dumb? Or should I...
I mean, I don't think there's much playing, but I mean,
Oh, okay.
Got him. Damn. That's a spicy McChicken for that one.
that sounds so fucking good. You're gonna if you go to McDonald's.
Okay, maybe I just do this.
Watch you roll a 9. Oh,
That would have been funny.
Poor stupid thing.
See? Told you.
Why is it even here?
it's wild.
I thought we sent its pod away. so
Friendly
it could
fire will
used
not be
elsewhere.
tolerated.
Oh, adorable. I did miss it. Its simplicity.
Picture the one with
Its
the cone on
fear.
your head. Like, what the
It's
fuck?
thrashing
Yeah,
its
you
own
cone
head
head.
against
That movie's
its
old.
pod,
Outrated.
cracking its skull again and again.
Outrated, outdated.
In a futile attempt to escape.
Typical Gen Alpha can't speak properly.
I missed you.
Did you
Keep
hurt
me? What did you do to me?
Um,
Nah, I don't give a shit what you put. I just, yeah. I thought that'd be like
Alright.
dirge stuff or whatever.
And you are aware. How is that possible? Oh, but what an arresting voice you have.
Fuck.
You're not supposed to be here, Special One. That's not right. But I don't want to
I can see your
damage
boobs. Hold on.
you. You were my very
Okay, babe.
first, after all. I learned everything about the parasites from you. I remember finding you close to death. Beaten black and blue on the floor of this sanctum. It must have been a few hours after the tadpole was placed in your skull.
Wild.
How you got here was a total mystery. But I stitched you up just enough to keep you alive, then placed you within your crib.
This lady pisses me off.
I kept you as mine.
Why? She kept us alive.
Open your scars.
We had such a close
I have a
bond.
journal update.
I opened you up
Technically, without her, we wouldn't be
endlessly with my
alive playing the
scalpels
game. So
and got lost in your
Right?
insides.
I mean, technically, Christy wouldn't be alive
No,
playing the game.
Christie's
But
the dirge. What are you talking about? Yeah, I don't like this bitch.
Should I say number 2?
yeah, I'm kind of curious. I've
The
never
most
seen this.
important work, the nature of which I only heard.
I've never
whispers.
completed the playthrough as the Dirge.
Truthfully,
Me neither.
I'm not surprised to see you found your way back here all by yourself. I always knew you were clever. It has never been the same with another. All the other victims who come here just meekly obey. You
indomitable.
thrashed. You fought. You were indomitable. But as special
Now
as
she's
you are,
indomitable.
you shouldn't be swanning
Wild.
around here, acting as if
true,
free
true.
will is yours again. We're going to kill you, sweet one.
Oh, no, you're not.
But I promise I will stay with you.
What was you eating?
afterwards.
It was weed.
Lashes, bring
Yeah, I don't
this
know
one
this.
back to my
I don't know this
table
person.
and prepare my knives for a long night of experiments.
Thanks. Oh,
Christy,
thank
your
God.
Okay.
Hey, don't
I'm in
worry.
combat.
Don't move. Don't move. Let me see something really quick.
Don't worry, Wolf will jump in the fight.
I'm waiting for
I'm
Gab
gonna
to do
try
something.
something
I was
out.
about to.
I'm gonna try something out here.
All right. Okay.
Wow. Well,
Did it work?
no.
alright.
Wait.
Okay.
I'm still casting.
Oh.
I don't know what happened, but that's okay.
Walked
Go ahead,
into initiative.
electrify him.
Okay.
I don't have quicken spell. I need one more sorcery point to get quicken spell. So.
I can't get in the door now because you fat ass whores.
Oh,
Here,
I
I'll
can
move.
That was funny.
Open the way.
I'm gonna try and put them to sleep. Let's see if it works.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh,
that was sick.
Pretty easy. That was pretty easy.
Cool.
Now electrify them.
Yeah, do it.
I can't. I have to do it next turn.
Well, yeah, when it's your turn.
Fuck. Okay, yeah, they're sleeping. Fuck it.
oh, how are you talking to sleep?
He's dreaming.
He's just a sleep talker. What do you mean?
He's
He's
dreaming
like
about
George.
killing us. Aren't they cute? Oh.
Oh, he
I'll let
thinks
you-
he can do something.
Wow, that spell's fucking strong as fuck.
That spell is wild. Alrighty. How do I want to go about this?
Yeah, you go
Yeah,
first,
we're gonna.
dude.
I mean, we're gonna long rest anyways. So
Well, this is
Mark?
probably my last fight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
It's already Gab's time, yeah.
She's
Wow.
but the
that was my kill. I'm just kidding.
together.
Dude, who did they think they were?
Hey, Wolf, look, severed
I'm in a
body
cutscene.
parts for you.
Oh, I gotta give those to Christy.
You're in a cutscene.
This
Oh, cutscene.
necromancer was a grunt in the scheme of the horrors enacted against you. That attacker is the source.
Ooh, try to remember the attack. Ponder why you were down here before us.
I know who it was. I know who it was.
In the heart of all these membranes, there was a dagger awaiting you all along. But from who?
Diddy.
Oh shit! Is
Oh,
it
what did
Diddy?
she have on her?
She had a mace.
Gab.
Oh,
Was it Diddy?
just that?
Mercolite Scourge.
Was it just
Or
that?
Scourge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That maybe
Damn,
like
dude.
she might have
That
had
side of
something
the
else on
wall
her,
is so
like a
fucked up.
journal or something. I could read.
That was really cool. Oh, rustic chest. In this bitch. Oh, nothing.
They're all fucking. Everything's. I didn't mean to do that again.
What'd you
Alright.
do?
You already know.
Want to wait here? Or want to stop here? Save?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have to remember that we need to long rest
That's cool. So there was
before.
a,
Shut the fuck up.
a
Or
dirge thing there.
why don't
That's a bit rude.
you just be quiet really quick? Right?
What?
Just be quiet.
Oh, there's a letter over here.
Oh wow, you missed it.
That was
Wow,
wild.
dude. I tried to fucking
Why am I
give
encumbered
you
again?
angelic reprieve, and you fucking
Stop
Talk
giving me
over
it.
a severed pelvis. I don't want this.
That's
it's
Wolf
not even
doing
on the
that.
ground.
Stop giving me these.
Fault. I apologize. That you're so weak you can't carry a body.
Hold
All right, I'm gonna save the game here and quit it.
on, I was
Oh,
gonna.
here,
I was gonna. read
here.
this.
Actually, drink this.
Okay, what?
Temporary cripple. I sent it to
Oh,
you.
he left.
Oh,
He left the game.
well,
It's over.
it's okay.
It's over.
Do it afterwards when we get
I
back.
think I sent it to you still. I heard
I think
the
I got
clink.
Yeah, I think I saw it appear in my hotbar at the last second.
Yeah. If you drink
guy.
that, you just go to sleep for 2 turns and you get all your shit back.
I was just
I'll
saying,
bet.
you should have just given it to him to drink.
Surprised they
Yeah,
had any of those. I
well,
thought
I
George sold
thought
them
it
all.
would have fucking put him to sleep, but he just jumped out of the way.
Gab wanted to pull.
Never
Really,
really
just
had-
want to take some pictures.
I have a really
Yeah.
high
I
dexterity.
just want to. I just want
It's
to take
okay.
some pictures.
I had a lot of fun, guys.
All right,
We're
Gab.
we're winning.
Yeah,
You got this.
We're winning the game.
we're winning.
I have faith.
Yeah. I'm really
I have
nervous about
faith.
Act 3, though.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
Warren
nervous about
and-
Merkel, about the about Thorm. Not gonna lie, I'm nervous about that fight.
Why?
I'm not too nervous
Cloud
about
error.
him or Merkel.
I'm kind of nervous about Merkel.
I think we'll be
Merkel.
okay.
I feel like Merkel was the only boss I ever really kind of struggled with, just mechanics wise. I don't know why.
It's
But-
pretty cool
and
when
I
you
don't know.
blind
I don't know
him.
what the legendary. I don't know what his legendary action is either.
Yeah, that's gonna be the new one.
Yeah.
So, but I think we got it.
Can't
Worst
wait to
case
find
scenario, we all go to one end, and George throws the rune powder barrel.
Oh, jeez. He just throws it from like the starting point all the way down there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somehow still die.
that'd be
Bro,
crazy.
that'd be crazy.
One of us should stay in camp. I think.
Hey, Catherine.
We could
was
all
good.
just stay in camp and watch George throw it in there.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Or I think it makes us all join the thing.
Probably. I would imagine it would make us all be there.
How funny if
Yeah.
I throw it and then the game throws you into the room with me and then we all die.
Oh
Oh my
god.
god.
Fucking
Good night,
Baldur's Gate.
y'all.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Night.